We talk about export controls every day in Washington. You're on the other end of this, of course, looking at NVIDIA's balance sheet and forecast, trying to figure out how to factor this in. How significant is this to crack back into the Chinese market?
Look, there's one chip in the world fueling the AI revolution, and that's NVIDIA. And you really need to give them access to the China market. I think that's the understanding that's been well understood now in the Beltway. It's important because the reality is we're talking about $20 billion a year. And if they don't allow them to sell into China, that just gives Huawei and China competition the ability to narrow the gap. And that's what Jensen continues to talk. And I think that message is definitely being heard.
Is it possible for a Dan Ives to do channel checks when it comes to China? Do we know that there are buyers on the other end?
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously we spend a lot of time in Asia, in China. Look, they want NVIDIA chips. The reality is, would you want Peter Luger's steak or would you want White Castle? And the reality is they want the one chip in the world fueling the AI revolution. And that guy's wearing a black leather jacket, and his name is Jensen. And look, there's competition. Huawei and others, they're narrowing the gap. But big tech in China, there's one chip they want. It's NVIDIA.
Well, it's really interesting because Michael Burry, I think, is ready to meet you at White Castle. He was out once again with a knock on NVIDIA today, suggesting that energy efficiencies will make their highest power chips less useful in the immediate term. So as we throw all these data centers back together with an eye on Broadcom and its TPUs, is there some truth to this?
Look, I mean, our last Asia trip, if I go back a month ago, demand to supply is 12-1 for NVIDIA chips. So look, it's going to continue to be a prove me in terms of the AI revolution, but I mean, we still believe this is early days. You're talking about $3 to $4 trillion that's going to be spent next few years. There's others. Look, we're bullish on Google, bullish on AMD. Others are going to get into this AI arms race on the chip side. But right now, there's one chip at the top of that mountain, and it's NVIDIA's world, and everyone else is paying rent.
It's NVIDIA's world. Is this stock then, in your view, with the earnings growth, revenue growth that we've seen in the most recent forecast, is this stock cheaper than it was a year ago?
Yeah, I mean, like $250 to $275 is where I see it end of 2026. It's a cheap stock. And you know, I think it's one where investors sometimes, you know, there's a lot of noise in this, and you got to separate out what demand ultimately looks like. And we're in the third inning of a 9-inning game in terms of AI revolution. And it's not just about NVIDIA, it's about Microsoft. It's about Google. It's about Palantir. It's the, you know, the infrastructure, Nebius and others, GE Vernova. I mean,
there are reports NVIDIA will soon start to ship its H200 chips to China. Washington has approved the sales, but this is the first we're hearing about a timeline, which is to start early next year. Let's go to Gil Luria, head of technology research at D.A. Davidson. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
So these aren't the most advanced NVIDIA chips. We know that. Is there still an appetite for these in China?
Absolutely. Really, all data center build-outs would love to get as many NVIDIA chips as they can, and that definitely includes Chinese companies that are trying to develop more advanced models for artificial intelligence and serve those models to a larger customer base. So really, any chips NVIDIA is making at this point have a customer, and that includes the H200s, which are really just one generation old. They're still very, very potent. And the Chinese customers, the Chinese companies, are very much interested in that delivery. The question is the Chinese government going to allow them to acquire these chips?
We'll talk about that in just a moment. The early estimate hit from NVIDIA was it was losing $5.5 billion when the Chinese market was locked out. Is that still how much business is expected from China? Have they changed that forecast?
Well, right now they're forecasting zero sales to China. But realistically speaking, the Chinese market is about a quarter of the global market. So if they could serve that, that would actually be a lot more than $5 billion, even a quarter. So NVIDIA is very much interested in being able to sell into China really any generation of chips that it's allowed to do so, because it is a quarter of the global market at least. And right now, based on their projections and therefore our projections, China is going to contribute nothing to next year's results.
Okay, you touched on this. China, we don't know whether Beijing is going to say, sure, bring them in, because China wanted domestically to find a workaround, right? They wanted domestic producers to fill in the gap. Were they able to do that? Were they successful?
Not yet. They will be eventually. They'll be able to develop chips that are comparable, and long term they'll be able to produce enough of them. But they're not nearly there yet. What the Chinese are really concerned about is that the U.S. Congress passed legislation that said that every NVIDIA server rack needs to be tracked to make sure that it doesn't get smuggled into China, so that the most advanced chips don't get smuggled into China, which the Chinese saw as
Following news that the chipmaker plans to start exporting H200 AI chips to China in mid-February, NVIDIA's stock increased almost 3% on Tuesday. According to sources, NVIDIA intends to ship between 5,000 and 10,000 modules, or around 40,000 to 80,000 individual H200 chips, assuming Chinese officials approve the sales. The initial push would employ current inventory. The timing is flexible because the proposal depends on Beijing's consent, which has not yet been given. Until we receive the official go-ahead, nothing is certain, one source warned. The action comes after a change in U.S. policy that reversed stricter limitations under the previous administration and permits H200 exports to China with a 25% tax. An interagency licensing review process has been established in Washington. Since H200s perform noticeably better than the downgraded H20 chips that are currently on the market in China, companies like Alibaba and ByteDance have shown interest in them. NVIDIA claimed that licensed sales will not have an impact on U.S. consumers and that it regularly manages supplies. Analysts pointed out that there are still a lot of geopolitical and regulatory uncertainties that might change any delivery plans. Every day, I run screens and do research, searching for reputable businesses with solid growth histories and fair prices. NVIDIA constantly sticks out. Few businesses are as directly at the heart of the most significant secular trend of our time. NVIDIA's GPU demand seems to be either secular or, if cyclical, early enough that a decline is not yet a worry. It is anticipated that approximately 20% of the approximately $500 billion that will be allocated to AI-related capital expenditures in the upcoming year would go toward NVIDIA's processors. That magnitude highlights the company's strength and the stability of its demand environment. NVIDIA shares have lately broken out of a clear technical pattern and started to re-accelerate after several months of consolidation. The stock has a rank number 1, strong buy, as a result of analysts' continuing increases in profit projections. A short-term overhang has also been eliminated by improved clarity over U.S.-China semiconductor trade policies, reopening a previously restricted source of demand. The outlook for the biggest publicly traded corporation in the world is described here, along with the reasons why NVIDIA is still in a strong position to dominate the market in the future. Expectations for NVIDIA's growth are still very high. According to projections, sales will increase by almost 63% in 2021, and by an additional 43% in 2027, representing a remarkable $100 billion increase from year to year. Earnings are predicted to increase by 55.5% the following year and 53% the year after, demonstrating the company's strong operating leverage. Valuation is another factor that makes this growth profile appealing. NVIDIA is trading at roughly 39.5x forward earnings, despite its supremacy and momentum. The stock has a PEG ratio of about 0.85, which is normally associated with inexpensive growth stocks, rather than the most significant AI supplier in the world. Consensus projections are for 46.3% annual EPS growth over the next 3 to 5 years. Stated differently, investors are not paying a premium that is in line with NVIDIA's rate of growth. Valuation support by itself acts as a buffer if current projections hold, but sustained performance in terms of sales, margins, and ecosystem expansion presents significant upside. This week, NVIDIA shares saw a clear breakout, resolving higher from a well-defined descending bullish wedge, a pattern that usually indicates the continuance of a trend. The stock has evidently recovered momentum following several months of consolidation, indicating that buyers are taking back control and selling pressure has been absorbed. Now that the breakthrough has been verified, the technical setup suggests a fresh upward push, and it wouldn't be shocking if record highs were tested again soon. Crucially, This move is taking place in tandem with improving fundamental visibility and growing earnings projections, which strengthens the signal and raises the possibility that the breakout will last. NVIDIA is still a desirable investment for investors with a medium to long-term horizon because of its confirmed technical breakout, acceptable price in relation to its growth profile, and rapidly increasing profits growth. The stock appears to have finished the process of consolidating previous gains over the course of several months, which allowed the fundamentals to catch up to the price. The underlying concept contends that pullbacks are more likely to be opportunities than warning flags, even though short-term volatility is always probable, especially in stocks that have already produced disproportionate returns. With demand visibility stretching well into next year, technical momentum turning significantly bullish, and earnings projections continuing to rise, NVIDIA is maintaining its position as the market leader and the key holding in the AI theme. Raymond James claims that if the United States permits the resumption of sales of AI chips to China, NVIDIA and advanced microdevices may generate billions of dollars in additional income. NVIDIA stands to gain the most, according to the company, with limited GPU exports to Chinese cloud and internet companies potentially generating $7 billion to $12.5 billion in revenue in 2026. AMD has little upside. If orders from companies like Alibaba are accepted, analysts predict that sales will increase by $500 million to $800 million, or roughly $0.10 to $0.20 in non-GAAP EPS. Despite recent approvals, NVIDIA's exposure to China is still limited in comparison to its data center business in the United States, which still accounts for the majority of its growth. Wall Street has given both chipmakers strong buy recommendations, but analysts believe NVIDIA shares have a little larger potential. NVIDIA is a perfect illustration of how the most resilient companies continuously reinvent themselves. With a $4.4 trillion market valuation, it is the largest corporation in the world, mostly due to its ability to swiftly dominate new technological opportunities. Furthermore, although the majority of the current growth is due to generative artificial intelligence, AI, the boom may not persist indefinitely. Let's investigate this renowned chipmaker's possible future. Since its establishment in 1993, NVIDIA has consistently relied on novel applications for the graphics processing unit, GPU, a technology it named and invented because to its expertise in parallel processing, which divides complex jobs into smaller ones and works on them concurrently. For producing video game graphics, parallel processing proved to be quite helpful. Additionally, NVIDIA rose to prominence in the market in the late 1990s and early 2000s by providing consumer GPU chips for PCs and even Microsoft's initial Xbox game consoles. When users discovered that NVIDIA's GPUs were also very good at mining cryptocurrencies, the company saw another boom in the 2010s. The company's gaming business, which has typically accounted for the majority of sales, contained both growth drivers and cryptocurrency miners, who employed the same PC-focused GPUs. But now things are different. With only 7.5% of the company's $57 billion in third-quarter revenue, NVIDIA's once important gaming division has become an afterthought due to the rise of generative AI. Large enterprise-focused GPU systems that assist clients in running and training AI large language models, LLMs, are sold by the company, which is now heavily reliant on its data center segment. About 90% of Q3 revenue came from this business, indicating that NVIDIA is not diversified and is overexposed to a possible slowdown in this specific industry. Even though demand for AI-related products is growing yearly, there are significant gaps in this opportunity's foundation. To begin with, a large number of NVIDIA's clients are spending enormous sums of money, OpenAI being the prime example. According to estimates, the company that created ChatGPT lost $11.5 billion in only the most recent quarter. Additionally, experts at Deutsche Bank believe that a $140 billion loss between 2024 and 2029 might make matters worse. It makes sense to believe that Anthropic and other LLM businesses would be going through comparable cash burn. As a hardware supplier, NVIDIA is protected from the difficulties encountered by some of its customers by operating on the picks and shovels side of the AI equation. However, in the long run, this will also become an issue for NVIDIA. The LLM clients may run out of money to keep purchasing NVIDIA hardware if they keep wasting it. Because of their diverse business models, NVIDIA's hyperscaler clients, including Amazon, Google, and Microsoft, are better positioned to withstand AI losses than pure plays like OpenAI. Their stockholders might eventually object to their present GPU expenditure levels, though. Furthermore, because to their expenditures in custom chip creation, these businesses are becoming NVIDIA's main competitors. Bloomberg revealed this month that OpenAI and Amazon had an agreement to use Amazon's processors for AI workload training. This development comes after a comparable deal with Google. NVIDIA's extremely low forward price-to-earnings, PE, multiple of 23 appears to be a reflection of its difficulties. Given the company's rapid expansion, this low valuation indicates that the market is concerned about NVIDIA's existing business model's viability. The business may need to reinvent itself once more during the course of the next decade. Fortunately, there are a number of attractive choices. NVIDIA's automotive and robotics division saw a 32% increase in revenue to $592 million in the third quarter. Even though this is a small portion of its overall company, if self-driving cars and humanoid robots start to play a significant role in daily life, this might become a major growth driver. Additionally, the company is developing quantum computer devices known as quantum processing units, QPUs, which may be useful for medicine development and materials science. However, all of this is still highly speculative, so before investing in the company, investors might want to wait for more indications that NVIDIA is broadening its business strategy. Don't forget to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your input helps create a more knowledgeable community where we can all learn and grow together in the world of investing. Stay up to date with the latest market trends, insights, and key updates by subscribing to Investing Tutorial. We're here to help you make smarter investment decisions and stay ahead of the curve.